Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy Strong Style Cinephile and The Flash. Wow, a lot of chatter about The Flash in recent days and recent weeks and in months. I haven't really talked about it just because there's some criminal stuff in it, alleged criminal stuff, and it's just, I don't want to get into the minutiae of like the law and allegations and criminal activity and all that kind of stuff. But it's gotten to a point where it's like, we got to touch on it just a little bit. So let's geek about it for a scant few minutes, because apparently Warner is, the pressure is on them. And a lot of people were kind of ticked off when the Batgirl movie was canceled. And then the reasoning behind it being canceled, the more Zaslav spoke about it and saying that he was trying to basically restore some of the prestige and restore the luster of the DC films. He didn't feel Batgirl met that standard. Understandable. Again, I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit, that I understand the kind of position he's in where he feels he needs to course correct to better the DC universe, movie universe going forth. I understand that. The way he carried it out, not really a fan of, but it is what it is. But then you had a lot of people saying, well, you're talking about the prestige and all this and that about the movies, and then you have Ezra Miller over here just acting a fool, assaulting people and breaking into people's houses, and then allegedly taking young people and trying to mold them or do some, Jedi mind trick stuff on them to make, just do shenanigans with them, having firearms, which, it's legal for you to have firearms, but to have them in close proximity to children, as has been alleged in several instances, that's, just practicing unsafe gun practices and stuff, and just more and more stuff. But then you have some people coming out saying that people that have been around them saying that they didn't try to Jedi mind trick them and stuff. So it's just very murky stuff going on with Ezra Miller. And then most recently, Ezra Miller was charged with burglary. So in this, we also found out that in between sort of arrests and shenanigans, that some secret reshoots with Warner for The Flash. So it's like, you're talking about the prestige and the reputation and the optics and the look of the films, and you have this person over here doing all this stuff, and you're keeping him in the movie. But then again, playing devil's advocate with the position that they're in. This is, Batgirl was a $90 million film. They didn't put any money into marketing, stuff like that yet. That's going to balloon the budget. Flash is like a $200 million film, and even more, so it's going to come out to like maybe 250, 300, near 300 with marketing and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, you got to kind of run with that. It's past the point in time where maybe you could do the whole write-down thing like they're doing with Batgirl. Maybe that's another reason why they're going to just run full tilt with it. You can't exactly recast and reshoot some of the scenes, because Ezra Miller is Barry Allen in the movie, and they play multiple characters in the movie, so they're in a rock and a hard place. Now, could they do some shenanigans towards the end of the movie and recast going forth? Well, of course, that is an option. So it's like, you keep Ezra Miller on, and then you have Ezra Miller just basically stay out of the marketing. You don't put any marketing spotlighting Ezra Miller in it. You talk about the other characters, Keaton returning as Batman, Supergirl, just anything else, basically, other than Ezra Miller. And you do it like that, and of course, going forth, Ezra Miller will not be a part of the franchise or any part of like DCU going forth. Or you recast, reshoot, which is really not an option, or you just scuttle the whole thing and you cancel it just outright, like you did with Batgirl. But again, this is such a larger film, such a larger investment in it, such larger implications as far as like, apparently it's Flashpoint, it deals with multiverse stuff. It's supposed to kind of course correct for the DCU going forth, if you believe those rumors. It might bring Henry Cavill back into the fold as Superman. Apparently Batfleck shot a scene for Aquaman 2 and may have done some stuff for this. So there's rumors that maybe they're just course correcting back to the Snyderverse, which would be so stupid. So it's just this, they're just in basically like this lose situation with Ezra Miller. And it's like, again, you talk about the prestige and the reputation and this and that of the DCEU and the movies that you're putting out, but you keep this person that's connected to so many, just so much negative press and criminal allegations and stuff like that. Warner hasn't even really said anything about the sticky stuff that Ezra Miller's involved in. So that the fact that they're mum on that stuff really kind of bothers me, for one thing. But then again, what I don't want is there to be some sort of like boilerplate apology from Ezra Miller's coming out saying that's not the person that I am, that's not the person who I want to be, I'm seeking help or I'm getting therapy, that kind of boilerplate apology type of thing. And then they put Ezra Miller back front and center. I don't want that at all. That'd just be stupid. It'd be hypocritical and just so many other adjectives. I don't want that. So it's just, what are they gonna do? It's just, I'm curious to see kind of how this plays out. If it gets to a point where it's just it's too hot and they just have to push, they have to run with the nuclear option for the Flash. I really don't think it'll come to that because, again, 200, upwards of 300 possibly with marketing and stuff, $1 million potentially that you have put into this film to torpedo that. That would be unprecedented. I mean, what they did with Batgirl and Scoob and some other stuff connected to the whole write down and tax stuff and reshaping and Discovery Plus and all that kind of crap. That's one thing, but to torpedo such a big tentpole film, man, things would have had to have gotten really, really bad for them to do that. And I think we're getting close to things getting that bad for them to do that because it just never stops. And the fact that they, again, like I said, it irritates me that they're so mum on it. And apparently they don't care because in between transgressions with Ezra Miller, they had Ezra Miller shooting scenes for the movie. So it's like they don't care. So don't come to me about prestige and reputation and the optics of the DCU movies and you want them to be this up here on this level when you're still kind of doing down here type of stuff. It's just, I don't know. It's fascinating on the one hand because you have this huge just movie that means a ton for this universe that you're trying to establish on screen going forth. And then you have this problem that is like an albatross hanging around the neck of your plans, of your film, of the films going forth. It's like, what are you gonna do? It's like they're playing chicken with the release date and the plan and stuff. It's fascinating. I'm just dying to see how it shakes out, if they release the movie, if they recast Ezra Miller, if they're gonna recast The Flash. It's just when they're gonna do it. It just couldn't do it soon enough for me because Ezra Miller was totally miscast from the beginning of this years ago. And it's something they should have corrected. Sucks that they didn't. It'll be interesting to kind of see how they course correct going forth. It's going to be interesting. That's all I can think to say. That's the word that comes to mind with it. But remains to be seen how it all turns out. But those are some of my thoughts on it. Scattered as they often are. What do you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me on social media. Talk to me there. Talk to me here. Until next time, let us geek.